Good evening, everybody, and welcome to NCAA Division II Women's Basketball. It's the South Regional Semifinals. One game has already been played here in Tampa at the Bob Martinez Athletic Center. In the game that just completed about a half hour ago, Eckerd College advanced to the South Region Final by beating Union 64-57. It was a very close game, not decided until the final minute. Eckerd pulling away to win by 7, but it was even much, much tighter than that throughout. A well-fought game, but it's Eckerd at 26-5, moving into the South Region Final, just one win away from the Elite Eight. I'm Scott Lynn, joined by DeCarlo DeVoe. Also, our producer, Andre Pyatt, is alongside. Those are two of the hardest working men in broadcasting. They've been covering all the games, not just the Tampa games. So they have been working out. We'll let DeCarlo have a moment here to catch his breath after calling the last game. I'll just let you know that this game is going to be really, really interesting. We have two of the very best players in the nation going to be playing today. First of all, from Lee University out of Cleveland, Tennessee, 26-6 on the year. They're the number 4 seed in the South Region. They are 2-1 against SSC opponents. They defeated Lynn last night. Lynn out of the Sunshine State Conference, 63-52. And Haley Schubert, a 2-time All-American, led the way with 19 points. She is something very, very special. She's the only player in NCAA Division II basketball currently that has over 2,000 points scored, 500 rebounds, and 500 assists in her career. However, University of Tampa has its own star quality, and that is Sydney Kinn, the player of the year in the Sunshine State Conference. She has over 2,000 career points and over 1,000 career rebounds. She doesn't have the 500 assists, but that's not her job.
Nope.
Her job is to take the ball.
Put it in the bucket.
Put it in the bucket. She is a force inside. And these two teams, I talked to both coaches a short time ago, DeCarlo, and both coaches said almost word for word, we couldn't be more different teams because Lee will run up and down the floor. They are led by their guards. Tampa loves to go inside. They've got two towers of power inside. Yeah. And we'll be talking about that throughout the game.
Contrasting styles. That's why it's so fun. I mean, you have the Boston Celtics with Bird. They played one style. Modern day Golden State Warriors, they play a different style. The Showtime Lakers, the Chicago Bulls, Kobe Shaq Lakers, the Milwaukee Bucks, all championship teams, but different styles.
It's going to be very interesting. I think it's going to be which team can impose their will in this game. Got to stay out of foul trouble. Certainly, Lee is a great three-point shooting team. They must make shots when they are open. Both head coaches talked about needing to make shots tonight. We're going to have the national anthem here in just a moment, and then we will get you the starting lineups. Great players on both sides. All league players, possible national player of the year in Sydney Kinn. I mean, it's going to be so fun to watch these games tonight, this game tonight. All right. We'll have just a moment here for our national anthem and then the starting lineups.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars
Martinez Athletic Center. It was a beautiful day in the Tampa Bay area, and it's going to be hot action inside tonight. And let's get you the starting lineups. First, for the University of Tampa, we'll give the Spartans starting lineup first. At the point guard is Maya Justo, the 5'5" guard out of Naples, Florida. Also at a guard spot, Audrey Ramsey, 5'6" guard out of Boca Raton, Florida. Sarah Jones starts at a guard, a 5'5" junior from Mason, Ohio. Malia Sullivan is a guard forward, fifth-year senior, all SSC first teamer, and she was something special all season long. She's second team All-South region, 5'11", out of Bartow, Florida. And the player of the year in the Sunshine State Conference, Sydney Kinn, averages a double-double, 19 points, 10 rebounds, 20 double-doubles this year. The senior out of Cary, Ohio, she is something special. 6'3", really, truly a tower of power inside. Starting lineups for Lee University, the Lady Flames. They're 26-6 on the season, coached by Marty Rowe in his 19th year at Lee. He coached the Lady Flames to the National Christian Colleges Athletic Association Championship in 2015 before moving on to NCAA Division II. They're in their 7th straight NCAA tournament, and Mallory Hampton, number 2, is a 5'5" point guard, a junior. She leads the way. She's from Dayton, Tennessee, after transferring from Samford University. Number 4 is Morgan Carbaugh, 5'7" guard from Knoxville, Tennessee. Macy Woodworth moved into the starting lineup. She's a 6-foot guard forward, a senior. She took over when Anna Mahonen was injured in early December, a season-ending injury. They are going to redshirt her, and she'll come back next year as a redshirt sophomore. But Woodworth is a 6-foot guard from Walnut Creek, California. Addison Smith, the 6-foot junior, a forward out of Hudson, New Hampshire. And then the player we were talking about, 2-time honorable mention All-American, 4-time first-team All-Gulf South player, the 2019 Gulf South Conference Freshman of the Year. Back in 2019, averaged 12 points a game then. She's averaging a team-high 19.3 points a game this season. We're ready to go, and the tip goes to Lee. The Flames, the Lady Flames, will have the basketball first. The Lady Flames shoot more threes than I think anybody that Tampa has faced all season long. They made 84 more threes this season than Tampa in the same number of games, 32.
Yeah, Tampa, they take the three selectively, but they're able to score on all three levels. They play the old-fashioned way, inside to mid-range and then the three-point arc.
Well, Molly Hampton puts it in for the first read. Mallory averages about 13 points a game, leading assist person at 4.5 assists. Sullivan, high-low into Kinn. This is the Spartans game, and Kinn puts the Spartans on the board. We're tied at 2.
Ironically, that's Kinn's number.
The pass goes out of bounds. They tried to get it inside, but the pass went awry, and the Spartans will have it and the first chance for a lead today. The Spartans will try to get it inside. They have made more free throws than Lee has free throw attempts all season. You get the difference there.
Right.
They're the three-point shooters. Tampa's the inside. They get fouled inside. Ball knocked away. Sullivan comes up with it. It's a tie ball. Tampa will retain possession. 8:50 left, first quarter. 2-2 here in Tampa. Lee again went 26-6, 21-3 in the Gulf South Conference. They actually tied for the conference title with Union, but Lee had the number 1 seed in the conference tournament. They did get defeated by Union in the conference championship game. But they beat Lynn last night, and they are now trying to knock off the Spartans. The second straight SSC opponent. The winner of this game gets another SSC opponent, Eckerd, in the championship on Monday.
The Eckerd Tampa was almost anticipated for the Sunshine State Conference Final, but Lynn played spoiler to that.
And there's going to be an offensive foul called on Justo. First turnover for the Spartans.
Spartans, uncharacteristically, they were pretty pretty solid the first half in turnover area, but in the second half, they committed a lot more turnovers than they would have liked. So I'm sure Coach Jesse and the coaching staff brought great concern to that coming into this game.
Schubert on the drive, the miss, but it went off the hands of Kin out of bounds. 8 seconds on the shot clock. They inbound. This is Schubert. She can shoot the three, but she likes to drive even more. And Kin with the rejection out of bounds. 2 on the shot clock for Lee.
Yeah, Schubert is fast. She has some live legs. Sarah Jones on her is a nice matchup because Sarah is also fast. She really commits to defense.
It seems to me that she'd rather drive. And there's a turnover. Sullivan, one-on-one. Spartans have some numbers. Sullivan gives it to Ramsey. Ramsey off her hands. Pass a little hot. It was actually deflected, though, off a Lee player.
Sullivan should have shot that.
I believe it went off the hands of Hampton. Mallory Hampton, number 2, I think got a finger on it as Ramsey tried to get it. They go right inside to Kin. She is a righty, but she's equally effective with her left hand.
Oh, yeah, she's ambidextrous around the basket.
The drive, no good. Justo, a little too hard. Here comes Lee.
Look at Justo get back on defense.
Travel. Call double dribble. Yep, double dribble on Mallory. Mallory Hampton lost the handle for a moment. Got it back. She is the leading assist person. She was looking to drive and dish right there. Averages 4.5 assists per game, but she's also their leading three-point shooter at 47% from beyond the arc.
Almost 50%.
All day long, pal. It is. There's Justo for 2. It's off the iron. No. Rebound comes away. Look at Lee. 5 people on the board that time. They do not want any second shots for Tampa.
No, because Ken is great on the. She will kill you on the second shot attempts.
Driving with the left hand and kicking out. It comes back out to Carbaugh. Drove inside, gave it back to Hampton. Now here is Schubert. 10 on the shot clock. The 3-point shot here is no good. That was Addison Smith. She's a 6-footer, but likes to shoot the three. That's her 105th attempt of the season. Sullivan lost the handle, gets it on top to Ramsey. Now Justo. They go inside to Kin, one-on-one. She drives, reverse,
nice move.
It was indeed a nice move.
Yeah, impeccable footwork. I mean, on the catch, she's going at the same time without traveling. I mean, that's hard to guard for anybody. Slithery on that baseline.
And a shift change here. Three elite players check into the lineup. Hampton, Carbaugh, Woodworth, Smith, and Schubert started the game, but now we see Hannah Garrett has checked in, and number 32. She's a 6-foot forward from Jamestown, Tennessee. Long 3-point shot straight away off the back of the iron, and Sarah Jones comes away with it. I believe that was Mia Hurst launching the shot, number 15. She just checked in. 5'10 transfer from UT Martin out of Henderson, Tennessee. Here is Kin, and the ball's taken away.
Wow, strong take.
That double team came down and stole it up and in. Nice defensive play by Hampton, and leads to the Schubert basket, and we're tied at 4 with 6 minutes left first quarter.
Yeah, this game, it's going to be a definitely contrasting styles, battle of wills, but it's not going to be easy for either team.
Here comes Schubert. There's a famous theater, the Schubert Theater, and this girl is Showtime.
Oh, wow.
She likes to put those talents on display, and she is really something special. I talked to Coach Marty Rowe about her, and he goes, you know what? She's a great player, but she's a great kid. You would love her. She's just so fun to be around.
Yeah.
And her teammates love her.
And a great mom also. Her daughter I call her daughter her mini-me.
Oh, yeah.
Her daughter
Sarah Jones?
Yes.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I was talking about Schubert.
Oh, my apologies.
No problem. I think the Schubert family just had a heart attack back in Tennessee right now. No, Sarah Jones, correct, of Tampa, does have a 2-year-old daughter. And she is terrific, yeah. The 2 free throws put Lee back on top. Schubert with 4 points. Sullivan strong off the glass. Kin got the rebound, but there's a lid on the basket right now for Tampa.
Right. Chance to tie with 2 free throws, though. And that's why you had 5 Lee University players on the defensive board to prevent Kin from these second shot opportunities.
Kin has all 5 Tampa points and now with a chance to tie if she makes the second free throw. Kin, 8-time SSC Player of the Week this season. That's the first time that ever had happened in SSC play. She was the SSC Player and Newcomer of the Year. Drive and dish. This is a 3-point shot from the right wing. No good. The shot by Garrett. She's not shy. She's actually a good 3-point shooter, close to 40% from beyond the arc. She was not shy about launching that one. Here's Kin from 15.
Oh, wow. Scoring on all levels.
Kin with all 8 Tampa points. Schubert, right wing, defended by Jones. And that is a great matchup. You talked about it. And now a turnover. Tampa ball.
Yeah, Schubert she is fast. Quick first step.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a timeout with 4:46 left in the first quarter. It's Tampa 8, Lee 6. You're watching it here on TampaSpartans.tv.
I pledge.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
Tampa coach Tom Jesse in his 21st year as the head coach of the Spartans, 7-time SSC Coach of the Year, second most in league history. He's earned that distinction now 4 years in a row. He's been in the NCAA tournament 12 of the last 17 years.
Wow, and it seems like just last year when he got to Tampa, I remember.
I know. Sullivan trying to get it to Kin. She catches with the right hand, kicks it out. Ramsey thought about a 3. Here's down to Jones. 10 on the shot clock. Ramsey steps inside. 15-footer is good.
Whoa, nice shot. Nothing but net.
She had gone through a little bit of a exterior shooting problem, but she's gotten it back the last couple of games. She scored 16 in the win yesterday.
Yes, she did, on good shooting.
There's a 3, straight away, no good. Rebound hauled down momentarily by Woodward. He goes out of bounds. It'll be Lee basketball. Tom Jesse begs to differ, but the officials are going to say, no, that's the way it is. The officials, Trey Miles, Jessica Walter, and Chastity Taylor, working this NCAA Division II South Region semifinal. Scott Lynn along with DeCarlo DeVoe. Our producer-engineer is Andre Pyatt. Lee will inbounds with 17 on the shot clock. Schubert, open 3. Catch, shoot, it's good.
She's a gamer, almost averaging 20 a game.
33% shooter from downtown. Not the team's best, but not bad at that percentage, that's for sure. 10-9, Tampa's lead cut to 1 now. Kin, spin move, up and in.
Wow, poetry in motion.
Kin has scored 10 points. She's 4 of 4 from the floor. The rest of the team is 1 of 5. Ramsey having hit the other. Here's a turnover, and Sullivan comes away with it. Tom Jesse said, as I mentioned, these two teams couldn't be more opposite. He says the Lee guards are really, really good, and our posts are really, really good.
Right.
And the guards are really good too, but it's going to be so interesting. I think this game might go right down to the final buzzer.
That would be
Ramsey
nice.
For 3! Ramsey, the best three-point shooter on the Spartans, shooting over 41% from deep.
Wow, she's been phenomenal all season in her leadership role. I won't even call her a point guard. She's a lead guard.
Largest lead right now for Tampa is 6. Here comes Schubert for 3, and missed everything. Out of bounds it goes.
And I must say this while we're here, Scott. What a well-assembled coaching staff by UT. Starting with the head coach, Tom Jesse. You got Caitlin Mitrick, his longtime assistant, who also played for him, a very skilled player.
Oh, yeah.
You got Elena Jones, who also played for him, Spanish national team, excellent three-point shooter. And back again is Tommy Jones, who coached at Tampa Prep so far ago when Tampa Prep used to be on the campus of the University of Tampa.
Nice.
That's how long I've known Coach Jones.
Well, and again, that coaching crew has done such a terrific job. And we have a timeout on the floor as the Spartans up their lead to 8, largest after the basket there by Malia Sullivan. We're going to keep it here at 17-9. You know, I did have a chance to talk to head coach Marty Rowe and his associate head coach Jan Spangler, who, by the way, are assisted by Kelly Kaiser, Mindy Kaiser, Jeff Steve, and Nakia Burks. Again, they have had a terrific season as well.
Right.
But both of them, the head coach and the associate head coach, both told me independently at different times, we have to play with the intent of making Tampa uncomfortable with what they do. They cannot be happy in their half court. We need to get them out of their comfort zone. We need to play fast. We must run. And we need to make shots. If we get an open three, we got to hit it.
Right. Well, we've seen a few teams speed up the Tampa attack with the half-court trap and pressure in the backcourt. So we're going to see if Lee University resorts to the same type tactic versus the Spartans.
Marty Rose says Tampa's different from any team we've faced all season. They're the most patient, and they've got the best inside game of anybody. And there's another turnover for Lee. Tampa with a chance to make it a double-digit lead.
Yeah, that's now the 6th turnover for Lee. The Lady Flames out of Cleveland, Tennessee.
That's going to be a blocking foul on Mallory Hampton. Second foul on Hampton. She'll have to be careful. 1:57 left. So Haley Johnson, comes back into the game. She had made an appearance a short time ago, but she's back in now as Hampton sits down with 2 fouls. And that's a problem, too. They said we can't get into foul trouble. And Hampton, being their second leading scorer and their floor general, their point guard, that's a tough blow for Lee.
Very tough. Last night.
Nice move by Schubert.
Yeah, very nice. I was just about to mention her, but last night Schubert got in early foul trouble.
Oh, yeah, but she still ended up with 19.
Exactly. She reached her average. And you notice how the flow of the game changed when she was on the court and off the court.
Ken with a spin move, got it to go. She's 5 for 5 from the floor. She now has 12 points. She has outscored Lee all by herself.
That's saying a lot.
Drive by Schubert, no good, knocked away. Justo comes away with it.
Justo, Johnny on the spot. She's so heads up, quick and savvy.
That's a great matchup at this end, too, with Schubert guarding Justo. Ken is fouled in the act of shooting, I believe. Woodward picking up the personal foul.
It's almost
her
like
second foul.
Machine-like execution on the high-low. I mean, if there's no double, it goes right into Ken, and she exploits the defense. They're going to force Lee to double team, and now that's when the three-point lanes open up for the shooters of the Spartans.
She's now 3 out of 4 from the line, 13 points. Tampa last night beat Tuskegee 82-64. Sydney Ken had a double-double. Her 20th of the season as she makes the second. She was 11 of 12 from the floor, 27 points and 12 rebounds. But Sullivan had 16 points, 9 assists, 7 rebounds. Ramsey was 16 points, 4 of 7 from deep. Justo with 11 points, 3 of 5 from deep. Great team play.
Very great. And Sullivan almost had a triple-double.
She did.
Right on the verge of one.
Schubert gave it up. Woodward, number 24. There's Schubert trying
to
get
it. She is so fast.
She is. The block by Kin, and now held ball, and it will stay at Lee's end. The arrow pointing their direction.
I'll tell you this. People think Kin is a finesse player. No, she's a tough player that has finesse.
Yeah, she's sort of she's tall, lengthy,
right?
But she's not big and strong in the shoulders kind of thing. But she's stronger than she
right.
appears, you know? Look at that play.
Nice inbounds play.
And Schubert capitalizes. Schubert now with 11. She's 4 of 8 from the floor.
Now, one thing with the Lee Lady Flames, they didn't come here to just play. They came here to try to get a victory. And if they go out, they're going to go out shooting.
And that's going to be a turnover. Lee will get the ball. By the way, with that last basket, Schubert has moved into a tie for number 2 all-time in career scoring at Lee University with Vicki Clemens. If she would happen to go off for a 40-point game here tonight, she would tie for number 1 all-time.
Wow.
There's a long one off the backboard, no good. We've come to the end of the first quarter. Tampa with Sydney Kins, 14 points, leading the way. Leading Lee, 21-13. Schubert with 11, trying to keep the Lady Flames in the hunt. We head to the second quarter after this break here on the SSC Digital Network.
Wayne State Medical School has been my dream medical school since I was 5. Athletics are important, but so is service, so is research, so is becoming a better person. And we expect you to do well athletically, but don't forget the reason you're here, which is to give back to your community and to get good grades.
To start the second quarter, leading 21-13. Lee University, 1 of 7 from beyond the arc in the first quarter. Tampa, 1 of 2. Again, very efficient, not as many three-point shots.
Right.
They're going inside to Sullivan now. Sullivan puts it up and in.
See, that's the good thing with the UT Spartans. They have a lot of interchangeable parts. If Sullivan has a nice matchup down low, Ken can stretch the floor by playing on the perimeter, and she can also dump that ball in high-low down to Sullivan.
Schubert dishes out to Garrett. Garrett for 3. She knocks it down. I mentioned she's close to 40% shooter on the year from beyond the arc. That's a big one for the Lady Flames, as they had only made one of their first 7. So a little more confidence maybe as they get ready to launch from downtown now. Here comes Justo off the Kin pick.
Shot.
18-footer off the iron. Knocked away. Lee comes up with the basketball.
Yeah, I agree. She should have shot it the first time when she caught it. She had a better shot.
That shot put up, no good, and Kin with the rebound. That's her second board of the game to go with the 14 points, a game high. Justo might have got away with a drag pivot foot.
Oh,
what?
wow.
It's Sydney Kin.
Kin from all levels. A long 2.
That is a long 2, and that's maybe the longest 2 I've seen her shoot all season. A 14-point game for Kin. Backdoor Schubert. Passes it out into the corner. Here they whip the ball around. This is Mia Hurst, 15 with the basketball. Carbaugh gives it off to Schubert, right wing. Passing inside, Ramsey was there.
That was telegraphed. That almost should have put a stamp on it because Ramsey knew it was coming right to her the whole time.
9-point lead for Tampa. largest of the game. Ramsey forced it inside, lucky to get it into Kin. How did she get that? Up and in, a chance for a three-point play.
And if you want to win,
go to Kin. That's your motto. You brought that to the game. You've said it all season long, and it's been pretty effective. She is now 7 of 7 from the floor.
Wow.
After going 11 of 12 last night in the first game here in the NCAA.
And it's not been all layups either.
No. I don't think I'm wrong to say she has a real chance to be National Player of the Year. I mean,
no, you're not far-fetched for saying that, and you're not even being biased. It's just from what her ability shows.
Yeah, her numbers are incredible. 19.3 points a game, 10.4 rebounds, and that three is knocked down by Garrett. She's hit a couple of them now here in the second quarter.
Yeah.
But also, we talked about the field goal percentages the last two games. She's probably at 70% on the season now. Oh, she came into this game at 68.3, and she's 7 of 7. That's off the support, out of bounds.
I've seen some good performances. I remember the men's team had a guy back here, God rest his soul, Todd Linder. A long time ago, he led the nation in field goal percentage. Had a great game against the Louisville Cardinals, who thought that we were padding his stats down here in Tampa, and he goes almost has a perfect game against Purvis Ellison in Louisville.
Wow. The three-point shot, long rebound, gives Lee University another chance. This is Smith, Addison Smith, gives it up. Here's a long three-pointer, no good, by Hampton, who's back in the game. And Sarah Jones comes away with it.
Yeah, she couldn't get the rebound, but did you see how it was tipped out by Sydney Kin?
Yeah. Hampton playing with 2 fouls, has to be careful. Here's Kin. She's so strong. She is now 8 for 8 from the floor. 21 points with the 6:20 mark of the second quarter.
She's out there looking like the Terminator, unstoppable, a juggernaut.
Before the game, I wanted to have a few words with Tom Jesse. He seemed more intense than I've seen him maybe in a long time. I think he was a little nervous, wanted to make sure that his players were ready for this one. They look ready.
Oh, yes. Yes, and they're led by one of their on-court leaders in Sydney Kin right now. Great defense collectively by the Spartans.
Hampton kicks it out wide. They go inside. Kin forces the long pass outside of the corner. Sarah Jones, good defensive rebounding position.
Great defensive rebounding by the Spartans on the defensive side.
Sydney Kin's season high is 30 points. She might get that by halftime. There she goes, and she's fouled. She's 9 for 9, 23 points, and a chance for another three-point play.
This is unbelievable, and I'm so fortunate. I'm so blessed to be able to witness this as a basketball fan.
Sullivan and Jones will get a breather for Tampa, and Audra Leopold will check into the game, number 4. She started 3 games early in the season, then suffered an injury that kept her out for 8 weeks.
What I'm waiting for, and I said it earlier in the broadcast, I'm waiting for Lee to double to double Kin. They haven't yet, and look what it's costing them.
Schubert, nice feed inside, put up a little bit too strong, and look at Maya Justo go inside for the rebound. She's only 5'5", but she averages over 3.5 rebounds a game.
Yeah, she plays like she's 5'10".
Yeah.
She plays big.
Jones is going to come back in now for Justo, and we've reached the 5-minute mark, so there's timeout on the floor. Tampa 33, Lee 19. Hope you're enjoying this one. It's the Sydney Kin Show here at the Bob Martinez Athletic Center.
This is the University of Tampa. Explore your dreams. Discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
This is...
We have played 15 minutes of this NCAA South Region semifinal. 15 minutes have been played. 15 minutes. And Sydney Kinn has 24 points, 9 of 9 from the floor, 6 of 7 from the line. It's been astounding.
I mean, words can't describe her play right now. And if Lee doesn't start to double her to slow her down, I mean, she's just going to keep going.
They've got Garrett guarding her now, I believe. Pushing her in the back. McKinn doesn't retaliate. Jones now, 5 to shoot. Ramsey kicks to Justo for 3. She can hit it, and she does. Justo's first points of the game. The Spartans lead by 17, 36-19.
The lead is, now they're clicking on all cylinders. They're scoring on every level. Inside, mid-range, and beyond the arc.
That shot rattles around, no good. And Ramsey, who's a great rebounder herself, averaging almost 5.5 rebounds a game, 5.2 assists for Ramsey, and 9.7 points. She is a potential triple-double every single night. And there's your double team.
Right. Now it opens up the floor, though, because they're going to be scrambling going back. So UT's just going to pass methodically and pick their driving lanes.
I think Ramsey stepped on the sideline as she made her move. A turnover. Spartans 36.
Yeah, that's the 5th turnover for the Spartans.
Garrett drives, kicks it out to Schubert. She steps on the line, and it's Tampa ball. Lee now with 8 turnovers. Tampa has 4, taking care of the basketball and taking care of business at the offensive end.
They're taking care of business at both ends. No disrespect, Scott.
To Marcheski. Eleanor Marcheski, who just checked in, comes off the bench and drains a 3.
And welcome to the dance, Eleanor. Welcome to the dance.
She was Tampa's leading three-point shooter percentage-wise last year at 44%, shooting 36% this season. 39-19. Look at that rejection.
I think I'm looking at a female Akeem Olajuwon.
She is definitely playing that way. And actually, the last few times she showed great patience, not forcing anything.
Right.
Finding a teammate. Marcheski. Ramsey steps inside for 2, and it's off the iron. Rebound Schubert. Schubert hasn't scored in a long time. She's still on 11 points, which leads the Lady Flames.
And she was off to a nice start.
Hampton with a nice spin move, got her own rebound and put it back up and in.
Maya Gusto played great defense. However, she backed off just a bit too far. You got to box out the shooter.
And Ramsey kind of stood and watched also. She had a chance to maybe step in front of the shooter, and that's going to be a foul. Hampton picking up her 3rd.
Oh, wow. That's a big foul.
That is a big foul. Hampton will have to sit with 3. She's scored 4 points. She's had 3 rebounds with 2 assists. But she sits down. Sydney Kinn's going to get a breather, and why not?
Well deserved. Well deserved.
Largest lead, 20 points moments ago at 39-19. Spartans now up 39-21. Justo kicks it to Jones for 3. And yes, the Spartans can shoot from the exterior.
Wow. 21-point lead.
And that's Jones' first points of the game. Garrett gives to Schubert. Schubert drives, working on Jones. Might have been a little contact there. Terrific shot. And with that basket, she's now number 2 all time in Lee University scoring.
Kudos to
Schubert. Yes,
Schubert. Haley Schubert. I almost said Elizabeth for some reason, but Haley Schubert.
Marcheski took some steps inside.
Great acrobatic shot by Schubert. Once again, also absorbing the contact and putting it up softly. Very skilled player.
Correction, that was a Gallagher who's checked in. 23, not 33. So that was Alani Gallagher, the 6-foot grad student out of Vestal, New York. Garrett, on top it goes. Schubert is so quick.
Oh, yes, with the ball also, I might add.
Absolutely. 4 on the shot clock. Schubert just throws it up off the iron, hopes that there's a rebound, and there is. Gallagher's going to be called for foul, battling for position inside.
We probably won't see Sydney Ken anymore this half with only 1:01 to go in the second quarter of the first half.
Yeah. Ali Welfa, who had just checked in for a moment, goes back to the bench now. Inbound. A fresh 20 on the shot clock. Garrett took steps right there, and that'll be another turnover. The 9th for Lee University, 9-5 in that department. Tampa with just 5 turnovers, better than last night where they turned it over quite a bit.
Right. Now, talking about Alani Gallagher, she's the graduate transfer from St. Leo. She was once the defensive player of the year in the conference.
And she led the conference in blocks as a senior, her senior year there. And that was, I think, a junior year where she was the defensive player.
Oh, wow.
Look at Malia Sullivan.
Hang time. Nice baseline move.
So now Leopold checks in for Tampa. Leopold in for Jones. As Sullivan goes to the line to try to cap the three-point play. She does. It gives the Spartans their largest lead at 22, 45-23.
What does Lee University have to do? Right now, Tampa looks to be in a 2-3 zone.
Inside it goes. And another turnover, the 10th for the Lady Flames. Certainly, Marty Rowe is disappointed in how his team has played in the first half, but just 10 seconds from now, they'll go to the locker room and try to regroup.
Right, and I mean, you know, they haven't played poorly. Tampa's just playing that well.
The three-point shot off the iron, no good. And the rebound pulled in there by Addison Smith as the first half comes to an end. It is halftime here in Tampa. The number 3 team in the country, 31-1, Tampa Spartans, leading the 26-6 Lee University Lady Flames by 22. It's 45-23. We'll come back, in about 10 minutes or so. We'll get you caught up on all the scoring, but what a first half it was for the Spartans as they shoot 65% from the field in the first 20 minutes. It's Scott Lynn along with DeCarlo DeVoe and our producer, engineer, Andre Pyatt. Nice to have you along here on the SSC Digital Network.
Wayne State Medical School has been my dream medical school since I was 5. Athletics are important, but so is service, so is research, so is becoming a better person. And we expect you to do well athletically, but don't forget the reason you're here, which is to give back to your community and to get good grades.
We're just about ready to begin the second half here in Tampa. The third-ranked University of Tampa Spartans leading Lee University by the score of 45-23 at the break. Tampa led Lee by 21-13 at the end of the first quarter. Schubert scored 11 of those 13 for Lee in that first period. Kinn scored 14 points in the first quarter, a perfect 5 of 5 from the floor. In the second quarter, Tampa outscored Lee 24-10, making it a 45-23 halftime advantage, the 22-point margin, the largest of the game thus far. Points on turnovers, that's the big one. Tampa has scored 14 points off of those 10 Lee turnovers. Lee has scored only 2 on the Tampa turnovers. Tampa's turned it over only 5 times in the game. For Lee University, it is Haley Schubert leading the way with 13. Again, she's moved into the number 2 spot all time in career scoring at Lee University. Congratulations to her. Also 4 points for Mallory Hampton, but Hampton is playing with 3 personal fouls now. She has 4 points, 2 assists, 3 rebounds, and a steal. But those 3 personal fouls put her on the bench part of the second quarter. And those are 17 points just between those two. 6 points for Hannah Garrett. She knocked down a couple of threes, 2 out of 5 from beyond the arc. As a team, the Lady Flames were 9 of 29 from the floor, 3 of 14 from deep, 2 of 2 from the line. They shoot just 31% from the floor and 21%, 3 of 14 from deep in the first half. They've got to shoot better to get the job done. Tampa, 65% from the floor, 17 of 26, 4 of 7 from deep, 57%, 7 of 8 from the charity stripe, 88%. The Spartans just did everything right. Sydney Kinn, 24 points, 9 of 9 from the floor, 6 of 7 from the charity stripe. Remember, her career high is 31 points. Her season high is 30. 7 points for Malia Sullivan, 5 points for Audrey Ramsey, 3 points for Baya Justo and Sarah Jones, also 3 points for Eleanor Marcheski. We're ready to begin the second half, and Lee University will have the basketball. Scott Lynn, along with DeCarlo DeVoe, and I would love to have seen what happened at halftime, because Tom Jesse, the Tampa coach, sent his team back on the floor with like 6.5 minutes left on the clock. What you can't tell them other than anything except just keep playing the way you're playing, right?
Don't turn the ball over. That's it.
Yeah. On the other hand, Lee's coach, Marty Rowe, kept them in the locker room till just a couple of minutes left, maybe 3 minutes. He had to have some words of inspiration and say, we can't turn the ball over.
Right. And talking about Kinn's performance, I remember James Worthy in the NBA playoff game had a perfect game, shot a perfect half, and I remember Ala Abdel Nabi, the big guy that played at Duke. Yep. He had a perfect game, but so that's the only times I remember seeing that, witnessing it, and watching it myself.
That was Macy Woodworth inside. Woodworth with her first basket, and that was the play. Get her going a little bit.
Yeah, to put some pressure on Kim, but it looked like Woodworth shuffled her feet a little, but it wasn't called, so it results in 2 points for Lee University, sorry.
Woodward. Here's a long 2-pointer, no good. That's the first miss for Sydney Kinn. Lee has to like the way the second half has started.
Thus far, yes.
No good. Kinn with the rebound on the miss by Carbaugh.
Tips it to herself.
Kinn only has, 2 rebounds in this game, which is far under her average, but bottom line is she's done everything else at the offensive end. Sullivan, I think, got away with a walk, and she scores.
Yeah, it looks as if she did, but, I guess it was let go at one end, so not so bad to have it let go at the other end.
Schubert kicks it out to Garrett. She's hit a couple of threes coming off the bench. Defended by Sullivan. Hampton defended by Justo. Hampton drives all the way to the basket. Scoop with the left hand up and in.
Tough move.
She averages 12.7 points per game. Gets a couple of steals a game on average. Here's Justo getting past Schubert. Now gives to Ramsey.
Yeah, Hampton is their floor general. She may not be the scorer that Schubert is, but she's their floor general.
Inside it goes. A foul as Sullivan was posting up. I think it's on Schubert. It is. That's the first foul on Schubert. 20-point lead with 7:56 left. Fresh 20 for Tampa. Sullivan's not going to use much of it. She goes right to the basket, puts it up. No good. Garrett, strong rebound.
Wow, the ball hung up on the rim forever.
It did. And look at Schubert all the way to the basket. No good. Out of bounds. Off of a Lee player. Tampa basketball. That was Woodworth, I think, coming up over the top that knocked it out of bounds. Full court pressure now coming, I think, for the first time.
Yeah, they got to change something up because whatever they were doing, it got them a 20-point deficit.
It'll still be Tampa ball there as the inbounds pass hits Sullivan right in the feet. Spartans were fortunate to be able to retain possession.
Yes, they are.
I think the full court pressure caught the Spartans a little bit by surprise. Ramsey, defended by Hampton, throws the ball away, trying to get it to Ken.
Yeah, a little more patience on that pass.
One of the hardest things, as you know, as a former player and a former National Player of the Year in Division II basketball at the University of Tampa, it's hard when you're playing with a big lead to keep that same intensity up.
Yeah, because it's almost like you want the game to kind of let the clock tick, let the game just be over.
Clock. Just do a running clock.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be nice, right? Shot clock winding down. Shot no good. Kin, strong rebound. And a foul on a Lee player. I believe that's Woodworth picking up the personal. It was. That's her third personal foul. Addison Smith, number 25, comes back into the game. And I believe Garrett's sitting down now. Long pass, and it's out of bounds.
Luckily.
Again, the Spartans very fortunate there. Still a 20-point game. We've played 3 minutes and 5 seconds of the third quarter. Things have kind of calmed down here. Ken with a second straight miss. Started the game 9 for 9 from the floor. Here in the second half, she's 0 for 2. Driving down, scoop shot, no good. Kin with another rebound.
I guess she may slow down on the point total, but increase her rebound totals this half.
Sullivan, so strong inside, puts it up, no good. Got her own rebound and puts it in.
And nice footwork by Malia. She powered it up off the inside-out pivot, slipped baseline, shot it over the rim, got it back. I thought she was fouled on the first shot attempt, but it wasn't called.
Second team All-South Region player. Kin was first team All-South Region. Schubert was All-South Region.
Wow, Woodworth has 4.
Wow.
She's the only player in foul trouble for Lee University. They're letting them play.
They are letting them play. I think the officials are having a running clock right now. Not going to blow the whistle unless it's pretty obvious. They are going to let them play, I think. Here's Schubert. Kicks it out on top. Garrett, shot off the iron, no. Justo, rebound.
And bodies are still flying to the floor.
Not for the faint of heart. You got to be tough out there.
Oh, you no doubt. You know that also as an ex-player.
Yes, indeed. Sullivan finds Ramsey. Ramsey thought about a three and now lost the handle. Gets it into Kin. There comes a double team. Kin wheels and is fouled. She'll go back to the line.
Yeah, she shot 2 jump shots, so now she wanted to get something a little higher percentage going to the basket. Smart decision on her part.
Kin is 6 of 7 from the line in the game thus far.
If I'm the opposing team, I would love when she shoots a jump shot because it's almost a consolation victory.
Yeah.
You know, even if she makes it, okay, I'll keep shooting those.
Yeah, right. She made them both. Kin now with 25 points in the game. Long three-pointer is drained by Hampton, and a timeout is quickly called by the bench. Marty Rose says, hey, let's try to set up some defense here. It's a 21-point game, 5:04 left in this third quarter. Let's take a quick break with him, and then we'll come right back. You were talking earlier, DeCarlo, that about the coaching staff for the University of Tampa. I mean, it's really a family affair. Certainly, Tom Jesse's wife, Nikki, is a coach at Warner University. Daughter Rudy's a seventh grader who's going to be playing tour ball, going to be out on the road this summer. But the assistant coaches, you mentioned Caitlin Metrick, UT player, SSC Defensive Player of the Year in 2010. She was tall, lengthy. She played in 2 NCAA tournaments in her 2 years as a player here.
Right.
And then, of course, Elena D'Alfredo. Elena, all Sunshine State Conference, averaged 15 points a game, shot 47% from beyond the arc her senior year as a whistle and a foul on Sullivan. Will shoot 2.
But I've witnessed Elena shooting firsthand as we squared off in a few shooting competitions.
Oh, have you now?
Yeah, she kicked my butt. I won't even lie.
All right.
And she shot with a men's ball.
Yeah, she could definitely play. Well, we got another timeout. This is the under 5 media timeout, so we'll take another quick break. 51-30, 4:39 to play here in Tampa. Well, Malia Sullivan will go to the charity stripe to try to add to Tampa's 21-point lead, 51-30, 4:39 to play. Sullivan, a 2-time first-team All-Sunshine State Conference player this year and during the COVID season of 2021. She was the SSC Player of the Year. Second team All-SSC as a sophomore. She's been a great player at Tampa for a long, long time.
Right. We've just come to expect good play from her. We've been spoiled.
She's got 13 points now, or make that 12 points, 1 out of 2 she made. 52-30 the score. Nice feed inside. Oh, and missing right at the hoop.
Sullivan high up for the rebound. She took it away from Ken.
Garrett missed right inside. And a held ball. Tampa will retain possession.
And I tell you this, I'm looking at Lee. They're playing hard, but it looks like their emotional energy is down. The players are like, what do we do?
It's tough when you're down 22 in the third quarter,
right.
For sure. Eleanor Marcheski is checked back in, giving Sullivan a breather, and she deserves it. 12 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists for Sullivan in this game. Justo. They're trying to get it into Ken, but here comes Marcheski for 3. Ken with the offensive rebound. Puts it up. She's fouled, and she scores.
I guess you don't even have to pass it to her. She'll go get it off the offensive boards.
And the foul. The foul on Garrett, her third foul. 28 points now for Ken. Make it 29.
Wow. Now, I'll tell you this, as you were mentioning Coach Jesse and his wife Nikki, they're actually the first husband-wife NCAA couple to coach together right here at UT. And then they coached against each other as Nikki became the head coach at St. Leo University.
That's right. That's right.
That must have been tough going home after they played each other.
Yeah, I would think so. But they are each other's biggest fans.
Yes.
Coach Jesse told me that, I think about a week ago before one of our games. He said, you know what, we cheer for each other. You know, we are our biggest fans.
No, they are. They're a great couple. But, you know, being competitors, you know, neither one of them are kin, and no pun intended on Sydney's last name, but neither one of them are kin to losing.
Well, Tom Jesse did not like that call, as Sydney Kin had an awful lot of basketball on that clock. But it will be a foul, and Schubert will go to the line for 2.
Wow.
The Tampa fans don't like the call. Kin, by the way, now 29 points and 7 rebounds as she's upped her total. 58-30, largest lead thus far. And Schubert knocks them both down. Schubert now with 15 points, tops for Lee. She's the only player in double figure scoring for the Lady Flames. Hampton has 9. Jones skip pass, bounces it to Ramsey. Ramsey trying to get it to Kin, but good defense that time by Lee. Ramsey drives, now knocked out of bounds. Good defense right there by number 15, Mia Hurst, out of Henderson, Tennessee. 3 on the shot clock. Ramsey will inbound. Marcheski will take a couple of dribbles and shoot it, and off the rim. Beat the shot clock violation, but rebound comes to Lee. Here comes Schubert. She's going to drive all the way, dishes off. Pump fake, Garrett puts it up too strong with the left hand, and Marcheski the rebound.
The thing with Ken is very Dennis Rodman-like. After her first jump, you get her up, but she jumps down and she springs right back up like she's on a trampoline.
Very athletic, no question. And Justo passed it out of bounds. Only the 8th turnover for the Spartans. 1:58 left. And Kin will get another breather. She sits down. 29 points, 7 rebounds, 3 assists, 10 out of 12 from the floor, 9 of 10 from the charity stripe.
I think that's nothing short of a great game so far.
It'll be interesting. I mean, if the championship game was played tomorrow afternoon, I would think that Sydney Kin might be done for the night if the Spartans continue to maintain a nice advantage.
Right.
However, nice play by Schubert. I don't think you can take anything for granted right now. Schubert's not going to have none of it. She doesn't want any of that kind of
stuff. No, she's a gamer. She's a baller. I mean, she's not, like I said, if Lee goes down, they're going down shooting. They're not going to give up on at any point in this game, even though I said they look kind of dejected because it's tough to figure out what do we do. But you know what you do? You keep playing hard.
Yeah, and Schubert's definitely doing that, trying to inspire her teammates. Justo drives, ball knocked out of bounds. It'll still be Tampa ball. I thought it might have gone off Justo as she fell. 7 seconds on the shot clock. Tampa will inbound. Ramsey underneath.
And Tom Jesse's up politicking for a foul. He thought Maya Justo was fouled.
4 seconds to shoot. 3. Justo lost the handle. And now I think there might be a foul or a held ball before the shot clock violation.
I think he's calling a foul.
Okay. On Justo, apparently. Yeah, Lee, they're just calling it a turnover. And then the Justo foul, that's her third. So we did want to make sure of that before I mentioned it here. Lee down by 24. Inside a minute to play in the third quarter. Schubert lost the handle. Leopold comes away with it. Gives to Ramsey.
And despite the Spartans with a with the 24-point lead, they only have 2 players in double figures.
They do indeed. Kin with 29, Sullivan with 12. This is Leopold coming off the bench. She started 3 games early in the year, as I mentioned. There's a 3 by Marcheski, no good. And a near turnover by Lee after they'd corralled the rebound. Final shot time for the Lady Flames if they so choose. Hampton, double team, gives it up on top. Schubert for 3, a little short. Leopold got the rebound with time. Ahead it goes. Jones comes down with it, launches, it'll count. It does not go. And the third quarter comes to an end. 58-34, Tampa leads by 24 points as we head to the final 10 minutes of this NCAA South Region semifinal being played here in Tampa at the Bob Martinez Athletic Center.
Champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you?
A little bit of foul trouble for the Lee University Lady Flames. Woodward is playing with 4 fouls. Garrett has 3 personal fouls, as does Hampton. Hampton got those 3 fouls in the first half. She's played with 3 for quite a long time. Tampa's only player in any foul trouble at all is Justo with 3. Starting this fourth quarter, it's Hampton, Johnson, Haley Johnson, number 3. Oh, check that. It's Hampton, Carbaugh, Hurst, Woodward, and Schubert on the floor for Lee. Justo, Kin, Ramsey, Jones, and Sullivan, the starting 5 on the floor for Tampa. Rebound, Justo. Now a foul is going to be called against Tampa in the battle for a rebound. They said somebody was pushed from behind. Ramsey's being called. That's her first personal foul in the battle for the rebound there.
And that's something that you mentioned earlier in the in one of your earlier broadcasts, how Tampa, they're able to play at such a high level defensively, but commit very little fouls.
Right, exactly. Justo gets it across to Ramsey. Here comes Kin to the basket. And with 31 points, she has tied her career high, which was set while she was playing against St. Leo. No, that's her season high, I should say. 31 points, season high. 31 points. That was against St. Leo in the SSC tournament quarterfinal round. She also had 30 against Florida Southern in the SSC semifinals. So she had a couple of 30-point games back-to-back, and there's a foul. Sullivan pushed to the floor. So her season high. She played 4 years at the University of Findlay, and I don't know that we ever got an official word what her career high was at Findlay. So,
I heard it was 33.
Okay, 33, we'll go with that. And she might get that this time down. She's got 31 right now. And there it is inside, and there's the 33 points. If that's the career high, well, she's equaled her career high now. What a game she's had. 12 of 14 from the floor, 9 of 10 from the line, and 7 rebounds.
And she's not done yet.
No. Shot up, rolls around, no good. Rebound pulled down, up and in. Lee had been on 38 for a little while. Woodward with the basket. Woodward's first bucket of the game.
Yeah, she just missed a layup prior to that last shot she just made. I mean, it's tough.
Justo with a crossover. Drives, kicks to Ramsey. Now Ramsey on top to Sullivan. Ramsey passed up the three. A tough two off the iron. No good. And a rebound and a foul. Kin was pushed in the back that time.
Yeah, 2 players just drove her out. Pick a winner.
The foul is on Addison Smith, her second. Inbound, it comes to Kin. She has 33. Sullivan strong to the basket. Well, I was wrong. I'm going to say that right now. I thought this game was going to go down to the buzzer. That has not happened, as I think Tampa's played its finest game of the season.
You may be right about that, but I hope they got a few more fine games left because they look like they'll be moving on to play Monday night and hopefully thereafter.
Yeah, Monday's the championship game of this tournament right here on this floor. It'll be Eckerd College against either Tampa or Lee. Right now it certainly looks like it will be Tampa. And it would be an all-Sunshine State Conference final. Eckerd had only 2 losses in conference play. They went 18-2, did the Tritons. Those 2 losses were to Tampa.
And I'm sure Eckerd comes in looking for revenge, as they did with Union, because Union knocked them out of the NCAAs last year.
Right, and they took care of Union in the first game tonight, 64-57, and they were very excited as they left the court. I asked Coach Paul Hunsinger as he walked, would you prefer to play Tampa or a team you don't know that much about? You haven't played this year. He goes, no, I'd rather play Tampa. We've played 2 close games with them, and it'll be fun.
Right. I was actually talking to one of the Eckerd players, Sofia Persson, the Swedish player, because
she's tough.
Yeah, she's very tough. I actually played in Sweden, in Stockholm, Sweden, and I was sharing some old photos of my playing days in Sweden with her.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. But, I mean, good person, tough competitor. But, I mean, at the end of the day, she knows that I'm a Spartan, so.
Well, the basket scored inside by Woodward. Woodworth now with 4 points. Make that 6 points, I'm sorry. But with 6:08, there's a timeout on the floor. I'm going to keep it here, Andre. 6:08 remaining, 64-40 is the score. We talk about Sydney Kin. She was the SSC's second leading scorer, and that was by percentage points. She fell out of the lead in the last game of the season, I believe, to finish a very close second. She went back into the number 1 spot the very next game in the first round of the SSC tournament. But she was number 1 in rebounds, number 1 in blocked shots. She's had 20 double-doubles, including 10 of the last 11 games. She still has some work to do if she is to get another double-double right here. She has 8 rebounds. She needs 2 more. She's scored in double figures now, 23 consecutive games. She's had she is actually sitting down now, so she may be done for the day. Yeah.
Oh, 33 is her new career high.
It is her new career high. Andre has checked for us, so thank you, sir. Well, 31 she had scored earlier in the season against St. Leo in the SSC quarterfinals. Yeah. So that was pretty impressive. But tonight, 33, a new career high. Gallagher gives to Sullivan, who's still on the floor. Sullivan, tough shot. Oh, she drained it. Sullivan now with 16 points, 7 of 10 from the floor to go with 5 rebounds and 4 assists. Great all-around game. A whistle just as the shot was taken. I think Justo is going to be called for the foul. That'll be her 4th. And I think it was trying to get through a pick over there as the shot was going to be taken. So the shot does not count. Audra Leopold comes back in for Justo, who is probably done for the night. 3 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists for Maya Justo. There's a tough shot. Once again, Schubert showing her stuff. She's got 21 now. 2 points above her average. Leopold gives to Ramsey. 5 minutes left. Haley Schubert has had some kind of career at Lee University. And
yes, she has.
And being a graduate student, this is going to be it for her. It'll be disappointing to have gone down just a couple victories shy of the Elite Eight.
Well, I don't know what her aspirations are, whether it's to play post-college or, just go into the working force. But whatever she does, if she takes her prowess in the basketball court into anything she does, she'll be successful.
Absolutely. Look at Sullivan. You cannot ignore Malia Sullivan. She has 18 tonight.
Oh, wow. The lead player was looking at the bench, and the ball hit her right in the face and bounces to the Tampa Spartans. That's almost a game blooper.
It's been that kind of night for Lee. Gallagher gives it to Leopold. They skip it around to Ramsey. Inside it goes to Gallagher. It's nice step-through move. Missed the shot.
Oh,
right
wow.
at the rim.
Nice move.
Lee goes the other way now. 4:05 to play. A 3 for Schubert. She knocks it down. 4 minutes left. Full court pressure once again by Lee. Down 23. Ramsey inbounds to Gallagher, who gives it right back to Ramsey. They're trying to double team her in the backcourt. Ramsey gets it across. And now to Jones. Sullivan, also a grad student who in her 5th year here has been so good for so long. Such a steady player, can do so much. Kicks it to Jones for 3.
Wow.
Yes, thank you. My goodness.
It's like extra icing on the cake.
Well, the Spartans fans have to hope they save some of this for tomorrow, for Monday's game.
Yeah, you have to. Tomorrow will be a great day of rest and reflection and preparation.
Yep. Tom Jesse, I'm sure, will say, okay, now put it behind us. We played great. Now we got to go against a team that has had a couple of really tough games with us. That three-pointer was knocked down by Allie Welfel. Welfel, the 5'10 junior from Nashville, Tennessee, makes it 71-48. 2:59 remaining. Timeout on the floor. We're going to keep it here. Just looking at the numbers. Certainly, again, you have only 2 Tampa players scoring in double figures.
Right.
Kin with 33 and Sullivan with 18. But those 2 players have outscored Lee as a team.
Yeah, the crazy thing is that Lee averages 71.3 points per game.
And they got 48.
Exactly. So we may say it's the offense of Ken and Sullivan, but it's really been the defense.
It has. You look at what they're shooting. And we talked about their three-point shooting. They're 6 of 22 from beyond the arc, just 27%. Tampa also has made 6, but have only 13 attempts. That's 46% from beyond the arc. Tampa shooting 57% from the floor for the game, and Lee is shooting just 36%. Lee has made all of its free throws, but they've only been to the line 4 times. Tampa's 11 of 13.
Wow.
Justo and Woodworth both with 4 personal fouls, but at this point, it's just time to run out the clock, say the Spartans. They're leading by 23. Under 3 to play. Leopold skips it over to Jones. Jones to Ramsey. Marcheski's in along with Gallagher now. 2 reserves who are going to be very important as the Spartans continue to progress in the NCAA tournament. Inside it goes as Gallagher scores her first bucket of the night.
And there at the door, at the entrance door, is one of the orchestrators of this great athletic program here at the University of Tampa, the athletic director, Larry Marfiz. Great job, Larry.
Gallagher with the basketball and 2:10 to play. It looks to me at this point as if Marty Rowe is going to have a couple more substitutions, allowing some of his players, bench players, to get some NCAA tournament action.
It's only fair. I mean, this game has been decided a while ago. It was only mathematical.
Also, we see Adeline Kent, the freshman, at the scorer's table for Tampa. They need a whistle to stop play. I don't know. In fact, there's no timeouts left for Marty Rowe, for Lee to take a timeout to get those other players in.
Well, I have a whistle in my bag. I could pull it out if they'll hear me from here.
You probably don't want to do that, my friend. Leopold.
Right now, someone just has to commit a foul.
Yeah,
or just throw the ball away, get a turnover.
As Tom Jesse's clearing his bench, we finally have a whistle with 1:08 remaining. And we see Nettie Moreau, number 20, 5'1" freshman from St. Cloud, Florida, is checking in. Also Adeline Kent, the freshman from Becker, Minnesota. Checking in as well, Bella Steidel, the 5'10" junior from out of New Jersey. And also, let's see who the other player is that I'm missing here who just checked in. Oh, there it is. Okay, Stephanie Theodosicus is also in.
Right.
So those are the 5 that are in right now for Tampa. Here comes Gallagher. Tried for the step-through move, puts it up strong, got her own rebound, held ball. It'll still be Tampa basketball.
And if you look right down squarely in front of us, Scott, I think this is probably Macy Woodward's dad because he's wearing a number 24 Woodward shirt.
Yep. And he gives
and
his.
That maybe is her mom sitting next to her. She had a good game last night.
Yep, and she's a senior, so this will be her last game as well. You look about the seniors for Lee that are playing their last game. We've talked about Schubert. Hannah Garrett's a grad student. Woodworth's a senior. The ball goes out of bounds. It'll still be Tampa ball. Carbaugh's also a senior. Haley Johnson's a sophomore. So that's the senior group that will be playing their last game. There's Hugs on the bench over there.
Yep.
Schubert has checked out. What a career she's had. She finished with 24 points tonight. 3 to shoot. Trying to get the shot up. That'll be a shot clock violation as Bella Steidel couldn't do anything except try to force the shot up. In for Lee University is Johnson, number 3. Welfel. Burgess is in, number 12. That's Bailey Burgess, a 5'5" freshman from Knoxville. Rogers, number 13, is in. Susanna Rogers, a freshman, 5'9", from Woodstock, Georgia. And Delbridge, number 20, is in as well. Bailey Delbridge, a redshirt freshman from Cheyenne, Wyoming. And the bench is alive for Lee as one of those players hits a shot. The Burgess knocked down the three-pointer. So congratulations to Burgess for knocking down the shot.
At this point, Lee can't really be mad. They just lost to a better team.
Yeah.
I would be more upset for like a 1 or 2 point loss.
Right. That's the final buzzer. We've come to the end. The outcome was never in doubt by halftime, frankly, as Tampa led big time at the break by the score of 45-23. They kept increasing the lead, and the final score is 73-51. Final scores. Let's get some scoring. You want a final comment before you go, my friend? Because you've worked a long day already.
Oh, no, man. The biggest thing is, being the host team, Tampa really had to just come here and not just show up, but do what they have done all season. And pretty much that's what they have done tonight. And that's one of the advantages of hosting the tournament. Not to say you're in a comfortable spot. You got to get out of your comfort zone. However, you're playing in a familiar place. The rims, the floor, everything benefits you. So you have to take advantage of it.
Indeed. Great working with you again, my friend.
Yeah, appreciate it, Scott.
All right. let's go through the scoring here very quickly. We'll let you say goodnight. You can beat the traffic out of here. Andre's got to stay with me for a minute. But, again, the tone was set by Sydney Kinn, who was 9 of 9 in the first half, scored 24 of her career-high 33 points before the break. Just a terrific effort. 33 points, 8 rebounds. Her double-double streak ends in this game. But still, she's pretty happy as her team moves on to the Sweet 16, if you will, because Monday's game against Eckerd will be for the trip to the Elite 8.
Wow.
Sydney Kinn, 12 of 14 from the floor, 9 of 10 from the line, 8 rebounds and 3 assists. 18 points on 8 of 11 shooting for Malia Sullivan, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. 9 points, 3 rebounds for Sydney Jones. She knocked down 3 of 6 from beyond the arc. Nice game for Sydney Jones. Justo had 3 points, 5 boards, 3 assists. Audrey Ramsey, 5 points, 3 rebounds, and an assist. Marcheski scored 3. Gallagher scored 2. Leopold, Kent, Steidel, and Moreau all got into the game, as did, I believe, Kent as well. Played but did not score. Theodosicus as well. And again, the only scorer in double figures for Lee University was Schubert in a terrific final game. I'll tell you what, Haley Schubert, as you said, my friend, she is a gamer. 24 points, 9 of 20 from the floor overall, 2 of 6 from beyond the arc. She shot all 4 and made all 4 of Lee University's free throws tonight. She had 3 rebounds and 1 assist. 9 points for Hampton. She was 4 of 16 from the floor, just 1 of 6 from beyond the arc. 7 rebounds, 4 assists for the floor general for the Lady Flames. 6 points for Woodworth, 3 points for Welfel, Burgess, and 6 points for Garrett. So Welfel and Burgess with 3 apiece. They made their 3-point shots. Congratulations to both of them for knocking down those shots. Lee shoots 35% from the floor for the game, 20 of 57, 7 of 24 from beyond the arc, and 4 of 4 from the line. Tampa shoots 55%, 28 of 51 from the floor, 6 of 14, 42%, 43% really, from beyond the arc, and 85% from the charity stripe, 11 of 13. I wanted to see if I could, points off turnovers, if I can find that number, because that was a big number in the first half. Well, I don't see it here. So, there it is, 14-7. Tampa with the advantage there. But at halftime, it was 14-2. So, again, Lee didn't allow any points off turnovers in the second half, so that was one of their bright spots. But that's going to do it for here, okay? We thank you for being with us. Again, Monday is the championship, and that will be against Eckerd College. It's an all-SSC championship game. Again, Tampa won the SSC with a 19-1 conference mark, their only defeat all season, actually, as they now move to 32-1, was the 3-point home loss in overtime on February 1st to Palm Beach Atlantic, 79-76. They've now won 21 straight games since then. It'll all be on the line against Eckerd on Monday. If you're a Tampa fan, you will want to be here on Monday.
Right.
Because Eckerd travels well. They had a huge throng, a loud throng in the first game, which you call, I could barely hear you over that Eckerd crowd, my friend. All right, so for DeCarlo DeVoe and for our producer-engineer, Andre Pyatt, this is Scott Lynn saying thank you for being with us. Again, the final score here in the NCAA South Region semifinal. 73, Tampa. Lee University, 51. It is Tampa and Eckerd for all the marbles and a trip to the Elite 8 coming up on Monday right here. And you'll see it on TampaSpartans.tv.